There is an evil agenda surrounding this tax law that is coming into Nigeria. There is a very selfish motive, not targeting only Nigerians, but targeting political opponents. You know, the intentions, the very wicked intentions around it has actually revealed their motive, you know, for propagating this tax or imposing this tax on Nigeria. I'll tell you, it has now been clarified that the tax law that was, you know, deliberated upon, that this is how it should be at the House of Senate and House of Assembly, and after deliberation and then agreed, and then after the agreement, the documents will now be sent to the government for them to pen in their attestation, sign, you know, as in, yes, it is now a law. Send it back and then it becomes a law. That same document, one thing you should know is that the government, which is the executive, they do not have the power to change anything. All they just need to do is to attest to it, sign, and then return. But guess what happened? When the documents got to the government, they changed a lot of things in it to a very wicked, you know, those omonile standard of tax collection, percentage collection, and then enforcement. They changed it and then sent it back. So, if not for one Sokoto senator who pointed it out, it would have been passed by now. And you wouldn't even know what they passed. And before you know it, they will deploy all your money that is in Lagos and all. They will start coming to your houses to grab your properties, steal everything. Don't worry, I'll tell you. Well, it is not me who is saying it. Look at it. This is Business Day, confirming it. That it is confirmed now that the tax was altered, which is against the law and the disrespect to our constitution and the activities of the House of Senate and, the powers of House of Senate and House of Assembly.
Speaker, honorable colleagues, I'm here today because my privilege has been breached as a member of this all-important House, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, we passed the tax laws on this floor, and Mr. Speaker, I took my time in the last 3 days to look at the gazetted past copy, the vote and proceedings of the House of Representatives, and also went an extra mile to look at the vote and proceedings of the Senate of what was harmonized. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, what I passed on this floor is not what is gazetted. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I have all the copies, but I'm coming under privilege because I was here, I gave my vote, and it was counted, and I'm seeing something completely different.
I'm going to briefly tell you what the changes these people made. According to the law, according to the one they agreed on, the House of Senate, that there is a certain threshold given to individual and given to corporate bodies like companies. For individuals, for you to be brought into the tax net, you are supposed to earn at least 50 million. And for that of the company, I think it's 250 million or thereabouts. When this paper got to the government, they changed it from 50 million, I think, to 20 million. And that of the company from 250 to 100 million. What that will do is that it will now grab in so many people, drag so many people into the tax net, and then when I go begin hearing whether you dey struggle na corn you dey sell for road na plantain you dey roast, you will be dragged into the tax net, and then you will be squeezed. That is number one. And then number two is, if there is any gra, say they can't oppose you, say, man, you no pay tax well, you supposed pay well, you didn't do this, you are supposed, just accusation. Before they carry you go court, before you carry them go tribunal, you are going to pay 20% first. No law cover them, no noise. 20%, bam. What this will do is that, they will now accuse political opponents. They will use this very clause to accuse political opponents. They can just come up with any figure. Say, okay, you, Atiku, you are owing 300 trillion tax. Before Atiku, they say 300 trillion. How? Waiting at they sell for this kilishi, when they sell for these slippers, when they sell for Abuja. What kind of 300? In fact, before the court even hear anything, before they will first grab 20% from you. What if that 20% is what Atiku has to run election? You see where these people are going. We know the game. That is another one. Then the other one is that this one now, this particular one I just said, was placed in. It was not there before. It was not there. But the government shocking that one enter. Then another one is the enforcement of, of the law. When there is a tax default, what do? Maybe normally you go send the person invitation to come explain, or you go, go in your accounts, place a debit and all that. It was agreed at the House of Senate, but when it got to the government, they removed it and then put that there will be a radical enforcement. So if they come to your shop, to your house, they will just seize your property. They can come to your shop and pack out everything. They can lay hands on anything. They can grab anything that they want and then cut away with it. That's Omonile style. Alaye style of tax collection. The old system, medieval period, that is what they are bringing. And they are so much in a hurry. They are so much in a hurry to pass this whole tax on Nigerians. Even with all these hurdles, the Senate has requested that, okay, we are going to take time to study this whole thing, and then so that we can figure out every part that is, not appropriate or that was not agreed on, that is Gazette, that the government has signed. But guess what? They are just the man, the chief, the main man who is behind the tax, just downplay this. That there is whether he said there is a law that says that whatever the government printer prints out, that is what you will take, which means anything where House of Assembly, House of Senate do is na babadash. It's complete bullshit.
Have more than 40 regulations, guidelines, and public notices that have been finalized. But we can't release a single one of them because we're still waiting for what is the final version of the Gazette. You know why? Because the Authentication Act says whatever the government printer publishes is the evidence of the law that was passed. That government printer published something which we shared, and we said this is the official version. Lawmakers said it's not what they passed. So they said they would do their own gazette. They set up their committee. They did their own review. They did their own gazette. They sent me a copy, soft copy. But that's not what the Authentication Act says.
So anything where the government printer print out, like say, now human being print out, now you will accept. And then he now went further to say that those changes are just minor something, trying to downplay the effect of those things.
I don't even know whether I should say this one because I don't know what the press will report. But in the interest of accountability and transparency, so my staff told me that they said everything that they printed, the National Assembly collected from them and said they shouldn't sell to anyone, that they want to complete their review. While that is good, it also creates the uncertainty again. So in other words, what I'll say to you is the explanation we have provided about the law, because all this issue of they've altered, they've not altered, it's not even a lot. There are few items that shouldn't affect the main thing that people need to, nothing about the tax rate, about the tax burden, the filing deadline. So, but this is the best I can say to you as we speak. Hopefully we can get over this sooner rather than later. Thank you.
So you can tell that there is a very strong, strong agenda behind this tax. Before now, if you have noticed, I have not made any video concerning this tax because I know, say Western world, tax now waiting the repair country. right? But it must be in a country where things they work. Where you know say when the 1 naira come for tax, you the 1 naira they go where it's supposed to go. Not be a country where enough money in the country. All your money they flow. But the poverty rate is high. The people are soaked in. In fact, people, what is the average earning per day? Right? So it makes no sense. This tax in the system right now makes no sense. All the noise he made concerning the income tax and everything, they altered everything. They altered everything. They made you feel that, oh, don't worry, you are a low-income earner. You are not going to pay any tax, this and that and that. All those things were lies. Go and online and look for this tax, the gazetted one and then the agreed up one, and read, compare the both of them. So, well, sometimes I still wonder, maybe Nigerians, are really, I don't know whether I know they understand what thing they happen, because when this goes into effect, everything that is about to go into effect is even worse than fuel subsidy. You do not know. Everything that they wanted to pass is worse than fuel subsidy. And this whole thing, they are so much in a hurry to do it because of the election that is coming forth. Only God knows the plan behind it. Yes. Well, let us watch and see how things are going to unfold. This week now, they are going to start to look deep into it and then know what to do. If it is an advanced country, the government should be ready to go on impeachment panel by now. You can never undermine the power of the legislator. You don't try it. You don't try. You as an executive do not have the power to make laws. You don't have that power. You do not. If you do not, if there is something you have to do, maybe you think that, okay, these laws, these ones are not okay, these ones are not okay. You have a logic reasons for that. All you need to do, put it down and send it back for them to sit down and deliberate. Because every Nigerian sent their representative there. That is why it is important that they must look into these things and deliberate upon it and then make it a law. You cannot put in, that same kind of shocking way they do. You see now, when you pass through a certain way, enter power, that thing will be considered a normal way. Malpractice and everything that go for school has become a new norm in our society and even in our government. You as a government, you do not have that power to make laws or hide anything. That should be a very big offense to the constitution and to the country by now. Let us see how this thing is going to unfold this week, and then we'll follow up. But I hope and I pray that the lawmakers who will get are not compromised, do not get compromised, because already people don't start to blame. They say, oh, because you are PDP, this and that and that. I do not understand, what's in the inside here on this our leaders. I don't understand. If you have not followed this page, do well, subscribe. Tell us what you think about this. Go and do your research. Look at these tax laws and understand what it entails. Put your comments here. Follow this page. Share it to others so that they will hear and learn. See you again on our next update.